Hello, friends. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And this is Cosmic Connections for this week. Guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about that beautiful, growing full moon lunar eclipse, which will be in Pisces. And what a lunar eclipse it will be. I've already been receiving countless inquiries about, wow, this energy feels intense. Oh my goodness, what's going on? And true enough, eclipses are portals of change. We get approximately at least 4 eclipses a year, and they usually come in pairs. We'll have a lunar eclipse, which kind of shakes the emotions up, and then a solar eclipse, or vice versa. And September is eclipse season, and we had eclipse season in March. And so in some ways, what's happening in this month is a reflection of what was happening in March of 2025. But the theme, my friends, for 2025, with the transiting nodes and the visual cosmic events, which we call eclipses, are in 2 signs. They're in the signs of Virgo and Pisces. Virgo represents the material, the earthly sense of health, physicality, discernment, intellectualism. Pisces represents spirituality and intuition and unfettered, unconditional love and forgiveness. So when we have an eclipse of this magnitude coming up on the 7th of September, we take notice and we take a look at where this eclipse would be falling in your chart, where 15 degrees of Pisces would be falling in your chart specifically. So we're going to be talking about this big old eclipse. And remember, it stirs the emotions up. Every passing day, as the moon gathers light and grows larger and bigger and more illuminating, we become larger and more illuminated with something that's been perhaps troubling us. So remember that the full moon that we celebrate on the 7th, the Sunday at 15 Pisces, is a foreshadowing of the solar eclipse on the 21st of September, once again in Virgo. So I mentioned this last week, but I want to really emphasize this. We are having 2 new cycles in Virgo. We had a new moon in Virgo at 0 degrees on the 23rd of August, and we'll have the next one on the 21st of September is a solar eclipse, and that's in the later degrees of Virgo. So I hope it doesn't sound too confusing. The emphasis is on physical and emotional health, discernment, mind, body, and spirit. Taking a look at our brains and taking care of them, discerning facts and data and research, and being very skeptical. At the same time, balancing that with our faith and our intuition, and coming to a nice centerpiece. All right. So hi, Allie. Hello, everybody. Hi, Jennifer, Nancy. Good evening. Hi, Candy. I'm doing great. Hi, Carolyn B. Haven't seen you for a while, but many hugs. That's you, Ryan. This is a portal of change. Hello, Miss Valerie. Portal of change. Why are you spooked? Oh, Marianne, we got to give him a good Virgo lesson, right? Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Patricia. Nice to see you, Marianne. All right, Kat. Hello. It's not spooky. It's illuminating, Ryan. But every celestial event kind of spooks me. It's amazing to live in this universe. What really spooks me is that the sun's diameter and the moon's diameter from Mother Earth is the same. Otherwise, we would not have eclipses. How is that feasible or possible? What are the chances that these 2 spheres in our visual acuity are the same diameter? They're certainly not the same diameter or distance in real time. Anyway, that's just a little known. Well, it's just not, it's well known, but the scientists can't figure it out. I like to think we astrologers can figure it out because it's very archetypal. And it's a symbol that the emotions of the moon and the solar power of the sun are equivalent in diameter from Earth's perspective. You're feeling the urge and the energy, right, Anne-Marie? All right. Thanks for being here tonight. Hi, Diane. Thanks all for being here. All right. Take a breath. I'm very excited about this full moon. What can I say? Hi, Amy. Hi, Terry. Hi, Judith. Thanks for being here. So if you're new, hi, Carrie. If you're new, hi, little Barbara from California. If you're new to this channel, on Wednesday nights around 8:30 Eastern Daylight Time, we do the Cosmic Connections. I talk about the week ahead and give you some astrology. I hopefully in an easily understandable, digestible way. And then I tap into more psychic intuitive mediumship. And you all have a chance for that. All you have to do is be here and I'll call on your name. So let's talk about this lunar eclipse. Let's add this to the stage. That S is supposed to be there. Cosmic Connections. And a big shout out to all the folks at the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. We had a fabulous time celebrating the 20th birthday at the new moon, which is 2 weeks ago. But please check out the offerings at the CIA. Amazing material. Get your Time Lords magazine as a free offering. And also become a member and become privy to so many wonderful articles and webinars. Here it is, the 7th of September. It doesn't show the time. I want to make sure I give you the time. The lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces takes place at 2:09 p.m. And that is going to be Eastern Daylight Time. And 2:09 p.m. And out on the West Coast, it's 11:09 in the morning. Now, keep in mind, you may be saying, well, Cassandra, we can't see the moon at 2:09 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Well, indeed, you can't. But the energy simply states that the sun and the moon will be directly opposite to each other at that 15-degree mark. And here it is on our wheel, 15 degrees opposition. Now, you'll notice the horseshoe and the headset connecting with the sun and the moon in the chart, right? These are the symbols for the transiting nodes, the storyline of 2025, namely Virgo and Pisces. And so there's this creative tension, like I said a little earlier, to acquire a balance between our mind, our body, our spirit. Taking care of our emotions is going to take care of our body and vice versa. And seeing the integrity of both. And during the Virgo or Pisces time of the year, we are reminded to take care of these two fields, the emotional body, the physical body. And the Sabian symbol for this full moon, for 15 degrees of Pisces, always go up on the wheel. All right, so it says 15 on the chart, but you're going to read 16. If you Google 16 Pisces Sabian symbol, you'll get the entire storyline. Is a man in quiet reflection in his study where inspiration flows. Now, I think we might all agree on this. Does everyone have a room of their own, or at least a chair of their own, or a bed of their own, or a place they call their own, where they can go and meditate and study and reflect and be safe and be strong? That is what this particular Sabian symbol is speaking of. It's reminding us that inspiration comes through quietness, and we can trust that flow of the divine guest, as it were, the divine numinous guest that flows through us. The interpretation of this degree of 15 degrees of Pisces is subjective strength. We are feeling strong as an individual when we allow spirit to flow through it, through us, and trust it. So for all of us, this full moon is locking horns with the North Node in the transiting eclipses, the transiting nodes. It's reminding us to emotionally push forward on our path. And the path that we are all collectively enjoying this year is that of Pisces. And Pisces is a sign of unconditional love and forgiveness and intuition and using that to reach our goals, trust our inner higher self. And again, subjective strength. And at this full moon at 2 p.m. ish on Sunday, take some time out, friends. I would strongly suggest you do that. Spend some time on Sunday, often a day of rest, a day of reflection and prayer across many, many traditions and cultures. Around 2 p.m., mark that time and say, I'm just going to sit here in the comfort of my car as I'm not driving, right? Find a quiet place of your own, a space of your own sometime on Sunday. And I think you will be amazed at what flows through. I call them downloads. So this full moon lunar eclipse, like I just said, is conjunct or next to the North Node. The North Node is the path we're trying to tread upon in 2025, the path of Pisces. And this full moon, like the new moon on the 23rd of August, is forming a yod, which is called the finger of God, where the focal point, the full moon, is making an inconjunct relationship with Venus and an inconjunct relationship with Mars, a 150-degree angle to these two social planets. So one interpretation I would suggest to you this week is this. Venus is love and social skills and money and values, and Mars is the will to muster those things, to attract those things into our lives. Because it's in inconjunct, we're using the road less traveled. 150-degree angle or a yod it suggests to us use another path. Don't do the tried and true way of trying to achieve your Venusian goals of, in this case, grand fun and creativity and joy and romance, and Mars in the sign of Libra, diplomacy and balance and fairness. Kind of bend the rules a little bit. Don't be afraid to do that. The full moon will illuminate a path, so you're not just doing the same old to receive your blessings and your goals and to follow your destiny, as it were. So muster the will to overcome the disease to please. Not that you don't really care what people think or say, but you're going to be a little bit more subjectively strong in your own inspiration, in your own spiritual yearnings and communication. So the way forward is, because the whole with this yod is Virgo. So it's Virgo. Virgo is being this whole year perfected with its imperfection. You see, every sign has a shadow. One of the shadows of Virgos or Virgo energy in your own chart, even if you're not a Virgo sun sign, is the need to be perfect. So you want to remove that shadow and say to yourself, I'm perfectly imperfect, and I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm standing in my own truth and my own desire to be my individual self. And if someone doesn't like it, it's okay, because I'm putting forth the effort in this moment to the best of my ability. And that's what Virgo is wanting to do this particular year. And this full moon is going to stir that up. Trust me, friends, every one of us, myself certainly included, will be having some of those inner voices chattering inside our heads by the full moon, saying something like this: you fill in the blanks, you did it again, you messed up. It's okay. You are allowing the wound to be healed, because Virgo is also in conjunct Aries. And we talked about that last week when we had Saturn was in conjuncting the new moon at 0 degrees, and Neptune was also in conjuncting the new moon at 0 degrees. I hope this makes sense, even if you're not an astrologer. All right, just understand the opportunity in front of us this week to really understand that we can be our own worst enemy. And we have to just go back to the Sabian symbol, going into your quiet, going into your meditative place, and finding your own subjective strength, being strengthened by the spirit itself. All right. By the way, in this full moon energy, Saturn, the taskmaster, the grumpy old man, is back in Pisces. So it's also asking us to avoid being the victim. Saturn has been in the sign of Pisces since March 7th of 2023. So it's experiencing its last dash until it's fully in Aries, which won't be until next year. There's another little tidbit I wanted to share with you, which is not on the screen, excuse me, and that's on Saturday the 6th at, I can't read my ephemeris, 12:51 in the morning. So when we go to sleep on Friday evening, that's Eastern time, 12:51 in the morning or 9:51 p.m. Pacific time, Uranus goes retrograde. So all of that kind of intense, sparky, crazy energy that we're being taken over by AI, we're taken over by technology, and oh my gosh, the world is crazy. It's all that kind of calms down because Uranus is going retrograde. It's going to be going backwards, my friends, into Taurus to finish up the Taurus lessons that began in 2018. It's I'm giving you a lot of information here, but the point is we're kind of doing a big sigh on Saturday, and then we're embracing the full moon illumination and guidance. I think many of us have been having some difficulty making decisions about important things in our lives. That's my point of the week. And I believe that if we make some time and space for reflection and meditation, we might really get some wonderful insight by Sunday afternoon. All right. Is the lunar eclipse connected to the solar eclipse later this month? Absolutely, Ryan. In fact, I'm going to give you a solar eclipse that occurred on December 14th of 2020 in just a moment to really stir up the pot. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Marcy. And eclipses are like plot lines on a long-term narrative. I can't say enough about eclipses. They're portals of change, of awakening. So the lunar eclipse theoretically is an emotional time, and then the resolution for a new direction comes on the solar eclipse in Virgo. Like, this is the action I'm going to take. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Mary Russo. Never worry about being late here. Okay. Hi, Allie. Cindy. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Grace. Sounds like a sexy time. Yeah. Oh, Jeanette, please reach out for a personal read. I'd be happy to help you out, honey. Hi, Linda. Hi, Cindy. It is hypnotizing, Cindy Claire. Absolutely. All right. So I'm sorry you can't see all the details on this, but I just stumbled on this with preparing for my class I'll be teaching tomorrow night. By the way, I am doing a class on the lunar eclipse. Lots of details. I'm applying it to your chart, and everyone's going to get a personal message tomorrow night. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can register on my website under products and come aboard, and I'll give you the link, and I'll need your chart. I go a deep dive into the lunar eclipse, how it affects you, and I'll show you on your own personal charts. All right. So as I was preparing for tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a lot of this tomorrow, I was thinking, what are the major news stories that have taken place since the new moon of August 23rd? There's been horrible, tragic news stories, i.e. what happened last Wednesday, right, with the horrific shooting of the Catholic school in Minneapolis, of those beautiful, beautiful souls, those young, innocent souls. And that seems like a long time ago. That was just a week ago. So there was that violent episode that is a scarring in all of our solar plexuses. But I think one of the things that are very, very interesting has been the dismantling of what was taking place on a long-time solar eclipse that took place on December 14th, 2020. Let's go back to 2020. Oh, please, Cassandra, I don't want to talk about 2020. It's a nightmare. It was a hiccup in the human experience. Well, it still was an eclipse day. So on the 14th, that was the day when Pfizer released its, I have to write this out. Okay. I always mess this up. The messenger RNA vaccines or products. I think it's better to say products, right? And so as that was being released, there was a lot of discourse on that day specific to the United States of America, because the United States was a Sagittarius. The new moon solar eclipse was in Sagittarius. Okay, there it is. All right. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. I'll just have to do that in front of you. I was about to do. Never mind. I'm feeling a little awkward here. Okay, so what was happening in 2020? This was the release of the vaccine. What has been in the news cycle from the past 2 weeks has been the dismantling of the CDC and a lot of controversy about these vaccines, a lot of pros and cons. And I thought, well, of course, this is a very much an astrological story, because back in 2020, you might remember this, there was a lot of controversy. There was a lot of confusion, and the eclipses that are happening in 2025 are what we call in astrology squaring those eclipses and bringing them back into the forefront. So a little prediction. By the 7th, we're going to get more clarity about what was happening when the eclipses were in Sagittarius and in Gemini. And by the way, when they were in Sagittarius in 2020, that was on the rising sign of the United States of America's chart, which is a Sagittarius. And you could make an argument that, quote unquote, the persona of the US was changing quite a bit. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow night in detail about the vaccines, their genesis, what they are not, and why are we talking about that now? Why are they coming into the astrological forefront? It's pretty amazing when you think about it. I didn't remember that they came out on a solar eclipse. So these eclipses aren't one and done. There are narratives, and the eclipses aren't one and done in your own life. Here's a little nugget for you. Every 19 years of your lifetime, you reimagine your own personal path. So the age is 19 years of age, you want to do something important, add 19 years, age 38, and so on and so forth. That's the eclipse paths. All right, so we're going to go to all of you and talk about where the eclipses are falling in your chart. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, we'll start with Aries. So Aries, this particular eclipse, and for the next month, you're going to be doing what? Doing a lot of that soul searching, going within, being a little bit more reflective, a little bit more prayerful, a little bit more meditative, trusting your own intuition. It's a great time for the Aries folks who are practicing psychics or wanting to not necessarily or practicing artists. Anything having to do with the imagination is going to be very much activated for you Aries people in the next week. So use that energy. For Tauruses or Taurus risers, this is a great week for you to connect with your true friends, connect with your groups, your associations, be social, put that party together or what have you. For our Gemini or Gemini risers, you might get some very good insight on your career, your path, your leadership, how you want to impact the world. For Cancer or Cancer rising, this eclipse is stirring up your own truth, your ability to speak your mind. If you're in business for yourself, it's a great time to launch some marketing or maybe do some traveling or teach something new or learn something new. If you're Leo or Leo rising, the eclipses are asking you to take a look at your long-term financial security. Don't be shy about that. Say to yourself, I need to make a plan. I need to get rid of some debt. I need to make a loan or whatever, but take care of business in that regard. For Virgo or Virgo rising, you're being illuminating to see who your BFFs are. Who are your significant others? Who are the people you can really count on? So you'll be able to make those affirmations and determinations. For Libra or Libra rising, it's all about your health and your work. You might be saying to yourself, it is time for me to get to the gym or at least to get to the sidewalk and start walking. Whatever that means to you, Libra or Libra rising, take care of your health. the full moon illumination will help you with that. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, have some fun, have some romance under the light of the full moon. Let your hair down and just let your creativity shine. For Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, it's a great week for you, my friends, to pay attention to your family and to your home, and maybe restructure things, buy some new curtains, or do something fun to illuminate your family life or home life. For Capricorn or Capricorn rising, it's all about your relationship with time and your relationship with your mind. So watch your words, watch your memos, watch your emails, watch your texts. Be aware of how you're communicating to yourself as well. For Aquarius or Aquarius rising, it's about your income, your self-worth, and your value. Really spend some time on Sunday saying, you know what? I am a part of creation, so therefore I am wonderful. I'm a child of the universe. I have a reason to be here. Remember that from the 60s? Some of you might remember that, the Desiderata. And last but never least is our beautiful Pisces. This is your full moon of the whole year, and it's asking you to shine, to be grateful, to be charismatic, and to believe in yourself and go forward. That's for you, Ryan. It's not scary. Okay, it really isn't. It's a great full moon for you to bask in the light of the messages of Pisces. Intuition. All right, Cindy's going to be dancing that Scorpio music. All right, Libra. Linda, that's you. That's me too. I'm a Libra rising. All right, good evening, Linda Laura. Hello. Let us now do some spiritual messages. All right, how that works, I close my eyes, I say a prayer, and I just come to two of you and dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest and best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. I am with Marianne Steiner, my dear. So I'm coming into you tonight. I think you're going to say, okay. Happy birthday, first of all. I think your birthday, I think I wish you a happy birthday. If not, I'm wishing you a happy birthday now, Virgo. I'm not really good with getting on Facebook. I apologize to anyone that I've ever not wished happy birthday to. No excuse, except I'm just grandma. What can I say? I'm a full-time grandma. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, Marianne, as I'm tuning into, I want to talk about your grandbabies, actually. I'm feeling that one of your granddaughters, you're a fabulous grandma, but one of them you're a little concerned about, one of the girls, one of the twins, and you've been doing this. You've been putting a muzzle on your mouth, and that's okay, because Spirit is saying all you have to do is speak and pray and protect from afar, and they will hear the lessons that you have instilled upon them over many years. In other words, very often, this is true for anyone, right? Loved ones, we really want to offer our love, our support, whether that be emotional or practical or sometimes financial. But sometimes it's good just to sit back and trust them. That's the message I have for you for the shorter of the two girls. I don't know which one they are. I'm just getting that from Spirit, number one. Number two, there are some things that you're working on with your own personal health. And it's from here to here is gastrointestinal. And when that gets all smoothed over and healed, then you can make some additional plans to have fun, Marianne, because I'm feeling that there's some trips or some fun goals in your future. You've just been a little iffy about it. And it's just a little bit longer to do this nurturing of yourself. And I think it's full speed ahead. And I leave that with many love, with lots of love and blessings. Okay. Let's do this. Thank you for the feedback, Marianne. Okay. I don't like to use names when I'm talking about other people, but as long as that makes sense to you. My next spirit message is for Ryan Kelly. All right. So I guess the more you comment, the more chances you have. So just keep on telling me, hello, Cassandra. Hello, Cassandra. The more you say, I might come to you more frequently. It's all very random, I promise. Ryan, as I'm tuning into your energy, my friend, I happen to know Marianne and Ryan. I don't know everybody here in the room, but I thank you all for being here. But Ryan, as I'm tuning into your energy tonight, I'm feeling a gentle reconnection, and I can speak like this with you because I know you, with an empowered guide, a new guide that you are being directed to use in your spiritual work. It's a new guide that you've been quizzically questioning yourself. Is this person, is this entity for real, or can I trust this? And I'm going to say this to you. This full moon is very powerful for all of us, especially powerful for the Pisces people. So if you could spend some time on Sunday afternoon, as best as possible, walking in the woods, or I'm not seeing woods, I'm sorry, I'm seeing a path, something natural like a park where you live. Just take a little stroll and breathe in the air, breathe in the illuminating energy. You're going to be amazed at what you receive. This new guide for you is extraordinarily wise. It's like an old try and give an example, like a character from a movie, like the wizzled old man with a long beard who has a great sense of humor. It's a male energy. Number one. Number two, I want to tune into your immediate family. I'm feeling that everything is going very peaceful and very balanced within your new home. Number one. Number two, please be patient. There's some things you've been waiting on in terms of some furnishings. And I feel it's like a bedroom set or something like this. And there's some backlog, and things will come in within the next couple of weeks. And things are going to be really beautiful by the holiday period. So your goals with you and your family, your mom in particular, are going to be all set in place for a wonderful celebration. It's not, you don't wait till Christmas. It's by Thanksgiving. And much congratulations to you for your new home. So that's what I want to say to you. Many blessings to you, Ryan. Okay, feel free to give me feedback. All right, I'd love to give you all a message, but it's that time. And please, if you're interested in getting a message as part of your class tuition for tomorrow night, please join me 7 p.m. It's a Zoom class. I'll also be doing a class in 2 weeks on the new moon solar eclipse. And sign up for a newsletter. I'm going to be having a lot more Zoom classes coming up for this fall semester as we count down the days and months to the great, amazing Saturn-Neptune conjunction of 2026. So many good things ahead, friends, even though it feels a little chaos-y at times. God bless and have a great week.